Today we're taking a look at these NHL matches, which are happening on Thursday, March 23, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. Minnesota Wild vs Philadelphia Flyers. The Minnesota Wild are aimed first place in the Central, and every game is huge at this point. They continue to excel, registering a 7-1-2 record in their last 10 games, propelled by stellar defense and goaltending. They just earned a road win against the Devils on Tuesday. The Flyers are stumbling, winning only 3 of their last 10 games. Furthermore, the Wild continue to dazzle in their own end. They have allowed an average of only 2.5 goals in their last 10 games, and the Flyers are the second lowest scoring team in the NHL. Minnesota is finding the back of the net, collecting 4 or more goals in 5 of their last 7 games. Our team pick is Minnesota Wild. The Flyers have gone over the point total in 3 straight games and have gone over in 3 of their last 4 games at home. Either they or their opponent has scored 5 goals in their last 4 games, and 5 of their last 6. The Wild has gone over in 6 straight games. Flyers goaltenders have had trouble stopping anyone this season and currently rank near the bottom of the league in goals allowed and opponent shooting percentage. While the Wild have struggled to score at times, they have been coming on strong recently, scoring 4 or more goals in 5 of their last 6 games. Look for this offensive surge to continue versus a weak Flyers defense. Most signs point to a higher scoring affair. Look for this game to go over. Toronto Maple Leafs vs Florida Panthers. The Florida Panthers need to win this game as they are fighting for an Eastern Conference wild card spot. Florida has been aggressive shooting the puck as they lead the NHL with 37 shot attempts per game, while Toronto is 16th with 31.7 shot attempts per game thus far. Toronto is dealing with a long road trip, and starting goaltender Ilya Samsonov is not on the road trip right now due to personal reasons, which makes things a bit lesser than defensively for the Maple Leafs. The home team has won 17 of their last 21 games against one another, so go with the Florida Panthers to win. First off, asking for 8 or more total goals in a game feels way too much to ask for. These offenses as of late are struggling to reach that number, as Toronto is scoring 3.3 goals in their previous 4 games, while Florida is averaging 4 goals in their last 3 games. The offenses have been doing pretty well, but Matt Murray and Sergei Bobrovsky are still doing well between the pipes. The under is 3-1-1 in the Maple Leafs' last 5 games on 1 day's rest, as well as hitting in 6 of the previous 7 Panthers games against teams with a winning record, so go with under 7 goals. Rangers vs Carolina Hurricanes. As much as I'd like to take Carolina in this matchup, this is essentially a toss-up game. Both teams have proven they can win on the road and at home, and both squads have won the majority of their games recently. Considering New York is a plus 129 money line as opposed to Carolina's minus 146, I feel more compelled to go for them. New York failed to convert on any of their power play opportunities last game, and although Carolina has a great penalty killing unit, I expect the Rangers to score at least 1 on the power play in this game. New York will be looking for revenge, and I trust Igor Shesterkin more than Anderson in net. Barring a collapse for Carolina, they have secured the top spot in the Metro. Therefore, there is more urgency for New York to attempt to claim the number 2 seed in the division. A win here would also put some confidence in their team that they can beat Carolina in the playoffs. The Rangers are 5-0 in their last 5 in the second game of a home-and-home series. Take New York with the money line. The Rangers scored only 2 goals last game thanks to a strong performance by Anderson in net and their inability to score on the power play. Based on Anderson's history, I don't expect him to have that good of performance again, and I expect New York to score at least 1 goal on the power play. 4 out of the last 5 times these 2 teams have played, they have totaled at least 6 goals or more. The one exception came from the last game. The Rangers are a bit healthier and ready to get their revenge, while Carolina is dealing with a number of injuries. I expect more offensive production from both sides after a gritty defensive effort in the last game. Carolina has reached the over in 13 of their last 19 on 1 day of rest. The Rangers have hit the over in 4 of their last 5 games in a home-and-home situation. Take the over 6 goals. Chicago Blackhawks vs Washington Capitals. Not only will Chicago be playing back-to-back games, but they will also be playing on the road where their record is 10-22-3. Washington is 16-14-5 at home and they have the better talent on their roster overall. Despite the injuries to their defensemen, I think their previous game was a wake-up call for Washington. They know how to not take every game or lead for granted, and they will come back with a vengeance in this game to make up for their loss. Points are so crucial as we head towards the home stretch of the regular season, and Washington badly wants to earn those 2 points. Chicago is terrible at allowing shots, and Alexander Ovechkin is 7th in the NHL for most shot attempts in the league. While both teams sold at the trade deadline, Washington still has a reason to play hard. I expect Washington to win comfortably in this game. Take the Caps with the puck line. With question marks in goal for both squads and injuries galore to each team's defense, I expect the offenses to shine in this one. Washington totaled 13 goals in their last game and has totaled at least 7 goals in their last 5 games in a row. The Blackhawks have averaged just under 6 goals in their last 4 games as well. Even though Chicago is the worst team in the NHL at producing goals at the moment, I still expect Washington to push across 4 to 5 goals on the night. Chicago should score at least 2 against Washington's weaker defense. The Capitals have hit the over in their last 6 games overall, and the Blackhawks have hit the over in 6 of their last 8 versus an Eastern Conference opponent. Take the over. Montreal Canadiens vs Boston Bruins. Boston has dominated the NHL this season and has also dominated the Canadiens in recent years. In the last 10 games, the Bruins are 8-1-1 against the Canadiens. This season, in the only meeting between the two teams thus far, the Bruins picked up a 4-2 win in Montreal. The Bruins are now 15-3 in the last 18 games. At home, Boston has almost been unbeatable, going 28-3. Montreal is just 13-23 on the road this season. Boston's high-power defense should have a field day with the Canadiens and the league's 29th ranked goals against average. Boston will dominate this game on the man advantage as well, with Montreal 30th in the league in penalty killing. The Bruins will also feature red-hot Swayman in the net against the anemic Canadiens offense. Take Boston with the puck line. When looking at the last game that these teams played against one another, these teams scored 6 total goals, which would be the under in this game. Linus Ullmark and Jake Allen are 2 solid goaltenders and should be able to limit the amount of goals allowed here. Neither team is shooting too many shots as Boston is 9th in the sport with 32.9 shot attempts per game, while Montreal is 30th with 27.3 shot attempts per game right now. The under is a major 7-1-1 in their previous 9 games played in Boston, so go with under 6.5 goals in this game as well. Tampa Bay Lightning vs Ottawa Senators. The Senators look to bounce back on their home ice, but the Lightning are having a great season and look to control this game on both ends of the ice. The Lightning, who average 3.43 goals per game, should pile on the goals against the Senators, who allow 3.24 goals per game, with Nikita Kucherov, Steven Stamkos, and the rest of the forward unit controlling the puck into the offensive zone and creating open shots with quick centering passes and puck movement near the net. The Lightning should limit the Senators' offense with Victor Hedman, Mikhail Sergachev, and the rest of the defensive unit, creating turnovers in the defensive zone and limiting shots on the net, allowing goaltender Andrei Vasilevsky to make plenty of big saves. The Lightning should win the game with a much-needed bounce-back performance on the road. Take the Lightning money line as road favorites. The offense has been very good for the Lightning this season. Tampa Bay ranks 8th in goals per game and 13th in shots per game. They scored 3 or more goals in 6 of their last 9 games. Nikita Kucherov leads the Lightning with 100 points. He has recorded 1 or more points in 7 of his last 9 games. Kucherov ranks 3rd in points and 2nd in assists among all players in the league. Brayden Point leads the Lightning with 44 goals. Point is tied for 4th in the league in goals. In the last 10 games between these two teams, Tampa Bay averages 3.70 goals per game. The over is 6-4 in the last 10 games between these two teams. This will be a higher scoring game. Take the over, 6.5 goals. St. Louis Blues vs Detroit Red Wings. The Blues are looking to bounce back from a rough loss, but the Red Wings look to build off the overtime win and control this game at home. The Red Wings should pile on the goals against the Blues, who allow 3.61 goals per game, with Dylan Larkin, David Perrin, and the rest of the forward unit carrying the puck into the offensive zone and creating open shots with quick passes near the net. The Red Wings should limit the Blues' offense with Moritz Seider and Jake Wollman stepping up at the blue line and cutting off angles to the net on the rush while limiting the shots on the net, allowing goaltender Ville Husso to make plenty of big saves. The Red Wings should win the game and sweep the home-and-home series with a strong performance on their home ice. Take the Red Wings money line as home favorites. St. Louis averages 3.40 goals per game over their last 10 games against the Red Wings. The Blues have been playing well on offense recently. St. Louis scored 3 or more goals in 7 of the last 10 games. The over is 21.94 in St. Louis's 34 road games this season. The total has gone over in 4 of Detroit's last 6 games against St. Louis. This will be a higher scoring game and the over will hit. Take the over, 6 goals. Seattle Kraken vs Nashville Predators. The Kraken only joined the NHL a season ago and struggled through their first season, so the head-to-head record may not be an accurate representation of this rivalry right now, but it's safe to say that they've been the better team thus far in 2022-23. In that short time, however, the Kraken have come away with a solid 3-1 record, and with so much depth, speed and talent on this team, this is one they should win if they are to be a genuine threat in the postseason. Our team pick is Seattle. Both of these teams have the potential to shut other units down, but at the pointy end of the season, they need to rely on their biggest strength, and for both of these teams, that's fantastic goalscoring and depth as an offense. For Seattle, the over is 6-1 in their past 7 overall games, and for Nashville, the over is 5-1-1 in their past 7 games played against the Pacific Division, so no matter who comes out on top in this one, we should see plenty of great goalscoring opportunities. Keep it simple, take the over. Pittsburgh Penguins vs Dallas Stars. The Stars have won 4 of their last 7 games. They are playing well offensively, scoring 11 goals in their last 3 games. They've also played well on special teams, converting over 23% of their power play opportunities. The Penguins have done a good job killing penalties, but their defense hasn't been good, with the team giving up 14 goals in their last 3 road games. They are also playing on consecutive nights and will be dealing with fatigue, so expect them to have a hard time slowing down the Stars in this game. The Penguins have lost 5 of their last 7 games and 3 of their last 4 road games. They have struggled offensively, scoring only 3 goals in their last 3 road games. They've played well on special teams, converting over 21% of their power play opportunities. The Stars have been great at killing penalties, and they play well defensively, holding opponents under 3 goals per game, so expect them to keep Pittsburgh's offense in check. Go with Dallas to cover the money line. The Stars played well over the past week, winning 4 of their last 7 games. They will try to keep the momentum going with a win over the Penguins, which will give them their 5th win in their last 8 games. Dallas is averaging 3.42 goals per game. They scored 4 goals on 29 shots in their last game. Our total pick is over. Vegas Golden Knights vs Calgary Flames. The Golden Knights have won 6 of their last 7 games and 5 straight road games. They are playing well offensively, scoring 4 or more goals in 6 of their last 7 games. They have also played well on special teams, converting over 21% of their power play opportunities. The Flames have done a good job killing penalties, but they're not playing well defensively at the moment, giving up 15 goals in their last 3 games, so expect them to have a hard time slowing down the Golden Knights in this game. The Flames have lost 4 of their last 7 games and 6 of their last 7 home games. They are playing well offensively, scoring 12 goals in their last 3 games. They've also played well on special teams, converting over 20% of their power play opportunities. The Golden Knights are great at killing penalties, and they're playing well defensively, giving up 9 goals in their last 4 road games, so expect them to keep Calgary's offense in check. Go with Vegas to cover the money line. The last 2 games between these teams this season hit the over with 7 total goals and 9 total goals in those 2 games. The Flames have trended over this season with the over going 36-34-2 on the year. The trends don't necessarily line up well to this for either team with the way that they've played, but I'm going more on the history with this one. Both of these teams have shown their flaws defensively at times this season, and both showing their ability to score. Our total pick is over 6.5 points. Winnipeg Jets vs Anaheim Ducks. The Jets are the far superior team in this game on both ends of the ice, and I expect them to complete the season sweep of the Ducks tonight on the road. They won both previous games this season between these teams already. Winnipeg has been much better offensively, scoring the 12th fewest, still low, goals in the NHL, but they've generated the 15th most expected goals and the 15th most high-danger shots in the league. The Ducks on the other hand have scored just the 2nd fewest goals in the NHL, having generated the fewest expected goals and the fewest high-danger shots in the league. Defensively, Anaheim's the worst team in hockey, allowing the most goals, giving up the most shots, the 2nd most expected goals, and the 2nd most high-danger shots in the NHL. Meanwhile, the Jets' defense has been fantastic this season, allowing the 11th fewest goals in the NHL, with one of the best goalies in the NHL, in Connor Hellebuyck in goal. I expect the Jets to shut down the Ducks' struggling offense while easily outscoring them to win by multiple goals. Take the Jets to cover the puck line on the road. Both of these teams have trended under. The under has been extremely profitable this season in Jets games, with the under going 45-21-6 on the year and 4-1 in their last 5 games. The Ducks have trended under recently as well, with the under going 6-4 in their last 10 games. Winnipeg has been great defensively, allowing the 11th fewest goals in the NHL, with one of the best goalies in the NHL in Connor Hellebuyck in goal. They've given up the 15th fewest expected goals and the 15th fewest high-danger shots in the league. Anaheim has really struggled to score this season, scoring just the 2nd fewest goals in the NHL, having generated the fewest expected goals and the fewest high-danger shots in the league. The Jets haven't been great offensively either, scoring the 12th fewest goals in the NHL. I expect this game to stay under the total. Take the under at even money. San Jose Sharks vs Vancouver Canucks. San Jose gave Edmonton everything it could handle on Monday and nearly came away with a victory in that contest. This is a team looking for some kind of spark to close out the season, and Vancouver is a team that they could match up well against. It is all going to be dependent upon how Kokkonen performs, who has a 4.15 goals against average in 3 games against the Canucks. The Canucks are 7-2 in their last 9 games, including 5-1 in their last 6 at home, but they are 16-35 in their last 51 situations, where they are playing the 4th game in 6 days. Look for a little bit of a surprise here and take San Jose to win outright. At the very least, take the Sharks and the 1.5 goals. The road team is 5-2 in the last 7 meetings. Our team pick is take the Vancouver Canucks. Thatcher Demko, 9-13-2, 3.36, .896, stopped 23 of 27 shots. The 4 goals allowed were the most in his last 9 starts, as he had allowed 2 or fewer goals in 7 of the previous 8 games. Vancouver is 29th in goals against average, 3.71, and dead last in penalty killing, 69.6%. They have been much better in their last 10 games, however, killing off 86.7% of shorthanded situations. Our total pick is over the total.